Hey everybody, it's Joey and I'm here live today, finally, late, still technical issues, and I'm so frustrated. I did the update on my software streaming program yesterday, and this morning I came down and gave it a little try on recording only. Everything went smooth. I had 1, 2, 3 clicks, and I just did a practice recording. Perfect. Okay, go about my business, come back downstairs for the live, restart the program. No sound. Then the picture was off. Oh my goodness, these technical things. It used to work just fine, but it's not working fine. Anyway, we don't want to talk about that. We are going to do some stamping and have some fun. I'm going to share with you some ideas about how to get unstuck when you sit down with all your supplies and you just look at it and go, I have all this fun stuff and I want to make something. I just don't know where to start. So we're going to talk about that today, and I have 4 fun folds using a relatively new bundle from Stampin' Up called Branching Out. It's so good. You guys are going to like this. If you're a seasoned stamper, you're going to love it. If you're a beginning stamper, you're going to love it too. It makes it super simple to make cute cards easily and quickly. Now, we're going to see what happens with this camera. My switcher is showing that I have more than one camera going. And I don't. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to switch down to my desktop. If it goes haywire, my friends, I'm going to close it out and start over, but I'm hoping that we'll just be able to soldier on. Here we go. So here's my desktop. Let's see if the camera's good. Looks like it is. That's awesome. Okay. What's going on with Stampin' Up? So just today, I think it was just this morning, maybe it was yesterday morning, Stampin' Up launched a whole new group of online exclusives. And what does that mean? It just means that it put out a whole host of new products that are available online only. It just simply means that they're not in a written catalog, or a printed catalog rather. So there's this whole, and they actually made this PDF for once. I've been paying a friend to do it, and Stampin' Up did it. So I just downloaded this morning. I will link it in my next email. I'll have a link. If you're not on my email list, make sure you subscribe. There's a link below the video on YouTube and above on Facebook. So just make sure you subscribe. Then you'll be caught up with all my events, my classes, my special offers, everything. My free tutorials. Always go to my email list. So that's what's up. If you want to know what's the latest and greatest, then just get on the website and Stampin' Up, what am I trying to say? So stampingwithjoey.stampinup.net. Let me pull up here another screen. Sorry about this. I'm going to have to move something around here. So if we go to, where is this? Is that it? No. Okay, never mind. Anyway, just go to, you can go actually right to createwithjoeyshop.com. That's actually the easiest one. That's the one I'm kept up on the screen. You can see it to the top of your screen up here. Okay, that's that. I don't want to talk too long because we've got lots of things to make today, and I've got lots of things to show you. Now, today is a class to go. What is a class to go? We have all these fancy names for everything. My class to go means that all 4 of the projects that I'm showing you today are available as a free kit as a thank you for your $50 order online on that link that's on the screen. So if you put in an order in my online store for whatever products you want, when the order comes through to me, I send you this kit. So, and the full PDF, detailed PDF. And so what I have for the PDF is that I have multiple pictures, I have all the dimensions, I have step-by-step directions, I have the supply list for everything that I'm making today. So you get that as well. So I haven't completed this one yet. I have 2 more cards to do on this one to put on it, but I'll finish that probably today, and it'll be all ready to send to you if you put in an order. Now, what does the kit look like? So this is one of my team kits. So this, but it looks exact. I do this exact same format for my class to go. So I put the label on the front, the name of the class, which obviously you're not getting this one, but and then all of the card supplies are in individual envelopes, and I shouldn't say that. No, not individual envelopes. They're all packaged together. Each card comes in its own. I put everything for that card in the inside of the card, and then they're packed that way. So that's what comes to you. And plus, I send you the full PDF tutorial. And is that it? It seems like there's one more thing that needs to go there. Now, if you don't put in an order and you're just watching today for fun and you just want to get some ideas, I still have something for you, and it's free. So I have one of the cards we're going to make today written up in a free project sheet. This is on my Beacons page. So that link is also in the video description. So, and the exact link to this card is there, as well as my whole Beacons website, where I have all my, not all my tutorials, but have quite a few tutorials uploaded there. Many are free. Most of them are free. So this has, what does this have? This one has the video link for today's video. It has the dimensions as well. It has a product list as well. On this one, I did give you a little blurb about my November Be Creative Club, because we're using these same products, the branching out products for that, and then a little link here. This link is live. When you pull the PDF up, it'll take you to the link if you're interested in more details about the club kit. You can do it for just 1 month, or you can subscribe for a little less expensive price, but that's available too. This is right now on my Beacons page, so you can go and find this and download it and have everything you need to make this card, or, you know, obviously use something you already have. Okay, that's all the talking about that. Today, as I said, we're going to use this stamp set. So this is an online exclusive. It dropped in the last group of online exclusives. I think. Oh, am I telling you the truth about that? Hang on. I don't know. We're going to check the mini catalog here. I thought it was. I just told you a fib. It is not online. Well, it is online too, but it's in the catalog. So if you do have a catalog, it is on page 50 of the mini catalog, the current mini catalog. And if you don't have one of these and you'd like to have them, let me know, and I can get one to you. We can make arrangements for me to get that to you. But these are the samples, obviously, and that's going to kind of tie into today's, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, which is how do you find inspiration when you're first starting to sit down with your supplies? Well, if it's a Stampin' Up set, there are often ideas online, but what I do to narrow it down, there are millions of ideas online, but what I do is I usually go to in the online store or in the catalog and look at what Stampin' Up! Has done with it first. So this is a card that we're going to make something similar, very similar to this today, and that's where I got the idea for that. I try to not go to Pinterest for the first thing, and I've got a whole list actually of 8 places, 8 ways to get unstuck. I'll also send this to my email list. I just brainstormed this very quickly. So I've got 8 ways for where you can find samples. My last one is to go to Pinterest, my last suggestion, because you can go down a rabbit hole with Pinterest, and you can lose all of your crafting time to just looking at ideas. So easy to do. Okay, so this is what we're using today. There are some tips and tricks for these. This is a 2-step stamping piece or stamp set, which means you need 2 stamps to make 1 image complete. So I'm going to show you how to use these today. We're going to use pretty much every stamp in here, so I can show you how to use that. Before we get going, I'm going to just open up comments and see if some people are watching. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Candy. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. You're watching on Facebook. Good to know. Awesome. It looks like everybody that's watching right now is on Facebook. That gives me concern. But if you're watching from YouTube, would you please? It shows me that I'm on YouTube. It looks like if I'm reading the controls correctly, it looks like I'm on YouTube as well. If you're on YouTube, say hi, I'm watching on YouTube. Even if you're watching replay, it's always reassuring for me to just see that when I go to look at the comments. And by the way, for every comment, jump in. I give a little prize on my Sunday scoop every Sunday. And if I don't give it on Sunday, I give it on the following Wednesday. So every comment gets a ticket on the prize wheel. So make sure that you make a comment, say hello. Okay, okay, you guys, oh my gosh. All right, can you talk amongst yourselves? I took my cards upstairs to work on my tutorial, and it will take me about 60 seconds to go get them. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm coming. Oh my goodness, it's been that kind of a morning. I don't know why. It just seems Wednesdays are always like that. All right, here's the first one we're going to make, and this is the one I have linked below for the free project tutorial for everyone. So no purchase necessary to get that. Let's go ahead and let's get started. So in your kit, when you put in an order, I'll have the card pieces like this cut for you. I'll give you everything you need to die cut and stamp your images. Now, since I'm featuring this bundle, anything that's in the bundle won't be die cut for you, but everything else will be. And I'll give you the DSP, the ribbon, gems, everything you need to make the card. Yes, I'm out of breath because I hurried. Okay, now for this one, the first thing we're going to do is stamp a little bit of a background snowflakes on this card. I'm going to grab my mat because we're using photopolymer stamps today. So I'm grabbing my Stampin' Pierce mat. These are very inexpensive and you really do need them for photopolymer. Can you get a good image of photopolymer stamps without this? Yeah, you can, but it's just more trustworthy to use a mat. You could also use just something thicker like a magazine or something like that to stamp on, but I highly recommend these. They're very nice to have. All right, let me show you some tips and tricks on this stamp set. So there are a couple of stamps that are just, I would just call them like, well, these are definitely berries, but these are, I think, snowflakes. So we're going to use the snowflake stamps. This is the berries. We're going to use that today too. And we're going to use cloud cover ink today. Now, cloud cover ink does not come in our regular ink pads. It might still be in the online store, but you take a chance having it not be the exact color because Stampin' Up! Had trouble with it changing colors from the original, the perfect cloud cover ink to a gray, and it doesn't match than any of our other cloud cover colors. Does that make sense? All right, this is what I did. So you can buy a set of these uninked, but they're uninked, so they're all white, and I think they come in a set of either 5 or 6. And then I just took my cloud cover ink refill. These are the perfect cloud cover ink. These don't change. So it isn't the ink that was causing a problem. It was the ink on the foam pad. For some reason they interacted. I know it sounds weird, but that's what happened. So I made myself a little cloud cover Stampin' Spot. I also just punched out like a little circle out of cloud cover ink because I have multiples of these not cloud cover, but multiple colors, and sometimes that's how I mark them so I know what color it is. So just a little FYI on that one. All right, we're going to actually grab a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to stamp off on this. So this is going to be very, very light. For those of you watching on video, which is obviously all of you, whether you're watching live or on video, this is going to be very light. I'm going to stamp it off. And cloud cover is a light ink anyway. Oh, it's going to be really light for you guys. Well, you have to trust me. I did try it full strength. Well, let's see. Let's just go for it full strength so you can see it. On my original card, I stamped it off. We'll see if this gets too cluttery. It probably will, actually. I think I probably tried it before I went to stamping off. But I'm just going to stamp some little snowflakes just around the bottom here. This part is going to show just kind of like that. Now, on my original card, I'm going to show you how much softer it is. But it looks really pretty, and it takes a background seat on this. So I'm thinking this is going to be obviously a little bit more bold without stamping it off, but I also want you to see it. What's the point in video if you can't see what I'm doing? All right, we're going to close that for just a minute. We're going to come back and use it, but let's go ahead and stamp the inside greeting. For the inside greeting, I'm going to use pecan pie. And the inside, this is a birthday card, so the inside is going to say, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. And I'm looking through my words here, thinking of you. That's not it. There are a lot of nice sayings in this stamp set. Let's see, what's this? Wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. That's what we want to say. Alrighty, so I'm just going to lightly tap on my pecan pie ink pad. I'm so happy you're here today. I could see that when I came on, a lot of my people that watch regularly on Wednesdays, that they're almost always here when I start the live, are not on with me. Now, maybe they'll find me as we go along, and I'm sure that's because I was so late dealing with technology. I swear to you, I get ready to, as much as I can get ready. Again, this morning, pretty early, I tested it yesterday, or this morning, because I did the upload yesterday. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in. But, oh my Lord, my heavens. It's just, I paid for a whole year of this streaming program. It was for months. I just did 3 adjustments and I was live. It was super easy. It always worked. And they did an update about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It has been a nightmare ever since. We're just going to put that on the inside of our card. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp the front of this card. And I want to show you some ins and outs of this stamp set. And it just hasn't worked the same since. I either don't have sound or the video is not working properly. Oh my goodness, it's been so frustrating. So I need to actually just try to contact the company. They're one of those that they're pretty much all online and you can't really call somebody, but I'm going to contact them and say something is wrong. It never goes right away without me doing a bunch of troubleshooting. Alrighty, friends, so there is our first branch. Now, there is a tiny little branch in this stamp set that you can add more branches to, and we are going to do that in one of the cards, but not particularly on this one. So we're going to go back to our cloud cover, and we're going to let's see, how did I want to do this one? I think this one, yeah, pretty sure. So there's a lot of, I know I'm talking in my head, not saying anything, finishing a sentence, you know what I'm talking about. There's these 3 stamps for these little, I don't know, tufts of pine. I don't know what you call them. What do you call them? Pine, anyway, these fluffy pine things. All right, that's a good technical term. Now, this particular short branch. So let me show you about this one. I'm inking up the one that's furthest apart. See how these two, this one is further apart and bigger, this one is smaller and closer together. So that's kind of important to know. Now, do I remember which goes where? No, not really. I'm going to look down here and see. They do fit. See if I can get those. It looks like this is the right one. So this is the one that's a little bit more spread out. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. And again, I think the cloud cover is really, really pretty. I haven't used cloud cover a whole lot. The ink, I use the paper a whole lot and all the embellishments. Gonna just ink up the other one, the one that's closer together, and then that one fits up here on. So you see there's a branch of 1, 2, 3 here. They're wider apart. Here's a branch of 1, 2, 3, and then that smaller one goes up here. So for this particular branch, there we go. It's just so pretty already. Anyone can stamp this. This is not hard. So whether you're a beginning stamper or you've been stamping for a long time, you can definitely make this card and have it be really pretty from the get-go. You don't even have to do very much mussing and fussing. Now I'm taking Early Espresso ink in this cute little pine cone. And I'm going to, there's some like little nubs here along the branch where you could put either another, you could put the single branch if you want to, but I'm going to put pine cones on it. I'm going to go up here and just try and match that up. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to put one here. Make sure you're chit-chatting with me. I don't always see your comments as they come up, but I do come back and respond. I know I got behind last week. I'm still a little behind on a few comments I saw that came in on YouTube, but I will get to them. It's been just kind of another crazy week. So many things. Oh. Everything's good. Everything's fine. My husband's traveling today. He's had kind of a crazy schedule. Okay, so there we go. There's this. Listen, that's really all you have to do, and you're good to go. Now, let's go ahead, and we're going to mount this on just a little bit bigger label. I'm calling these labels because that's what they look like to me. So I'm going to just go ahead, and I am going to use dimensionals on this and pop it up. You wouldn't have to, but I like dimensionals. They just give a subtle, they just make such a big difference, but it's subtle, but it's very definite in the effect it gives because it just has that little bit of shadow, which adds depth to your card. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to look at my list of things to share about. Where is my list of how do I find inspiration and get unstuck? So another thing I do is I have a friend, well, I have multiple friends that are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and I go to their Facebook pages, sometimes their blog, but this particular friend that I actually got the idea for this one from does not have a blog, but I go to her Facebook page and I look. So if you follow particular people, I'm trying to think, where is my card? Here we go. Go to their Facebook page and scroll through. I know I post a couple or 3 times a week, whatever I'm working on. And I know my friends normally do too. We're going to put some DSP on this first before we move on. Did I cut the DSP? I thought I did, but I'm not seeing it. So let me grab it quick. And we'll cut it. So let me give you the layout of this. You can download the PDF, but just so you know from the get-go, this is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And then this piece that's going to go at the top here is 2 1/2 by 4. So let me grab my paper trimmer And we'll cut this the way it needs to be cut. Let's see. Let's go 2.5 this way. I'm laying the screen so you can see. So here's 2, here's 2.5. I'm going to trim this here, and then I'm going to go to 4, like so. And that should be the right size. Let's double check. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and, yep, that is right. So that's good. Anyway, I often go to Facebook pages of people that I like to follow, and I like their cards. And this is my friend Corinne Braxton. This is her, basically her card. I did switch it up some. She is different colors and different designer paper, but this basic layout I got from her Facebook page. We share designs quite a bit. We're very good friends. So she always says, oh, absolutely, just use whatever you like. Now I'm kind of feeling through here. We only want our dimensionals or any adhesive to go down this far. You don't want it to go past there, because then you will glue your card shut, which is no good. So I'm being careful to put these dimensionals where I don't have them, because I can feel through there. You just feel where the other ones are. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool to take these off quickly, the little backings. So this, as I said, I like to look at her page, and then I have a couple of other people I like to look at, but I'm saying before Pinterest, go find the people that you like to follow and look at their pages. And even if, they're not using the same stamp set that you want to use, you can still get ideas. You can take a layout of a card and follow the layout of the card. Even, oops, that didn't tie very well. This is cloud cover ribbon. We have the ribbon in all of our... Oh, I'm seeing some hearts. Thank you, you guys. Some more hearts and some thumbs up. Thanks so very much. It's very encouraging. I can't really thank you enough for taking the time to just click on that little heart or the thumbs up or to make a comment. I do work hard to try to bring you content that you enjoy and learn something from, because really stamping is something that it's fun to share, and I hope I can be helpful. I'm trying to take out the frustration for you for some of these things, particularly on this stamp set today, but then in general about how to get unstuck when you sit down with your stamping supplies. The first day, so I'll show you my my monthly club cards for this set before we get off the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I did it all Sunday afternoon, and it went really pretty smoothly. I mean, I do 5 designs for my club classes, and they're all a little bit over the top. Not hard for anyone to do, though, so a beginner can also do them as well. But my club is a subscription club, but you can try it for just 1 month if you don't want to subscribe. You want to see what it's all about yet. So there's our bow. Now we're going to do our greeting. And do you think I see that? No, I don't see it. Your kit will be complete. I actually already did cut some of these kits, and I'm thinking I took out my own supplies, not realizing that I was putting them in my other kits. I think this piece is like 7/8 by, I don't know, maybe 2.5. I'm just cutting it here out of the camera. Anyway, I started to say I was designing the cards for this, and it really went pretty quickly. As I said, I kind of looked at the Stampin' Up! Samples first. I looked at a couple of my friends' Facebook, their professional Facebook pages. Let me grab the greeting here, the birthday greeting. So where are you? The birthday greeting. Let's do, here we go. Happiest birthday wishes. And we're going to go right about there. It's kind of tiny, probably going to be hard to see until I actually stamp it. But it went pretty smoothly. My whole point was I got everything out that I wanted to use, made my decisions on what DSP, ribbons, gems, all of that. And then it went pretty well. And then Monday, I came down to create my cards for today. And I just sat there. I didn't like anything I was doing. I tried a couple things. I didn't think they were very cute or pretty. I don't know. I got stuck. So again, I went through my list like I'm sharing with you today. I first look at Stampin' Up! Samples again. And a lot of times online, you can find more samples than are in the catalog. So just a heads up about that. You can find that the samples that are in the catalog, obviously, if you have a catalog, but they also put those online as well. So you can find them there. But a lot of times they put more samples online in addition to the ones that are in the catalog, is what I'm trying to say. So I looked there, and one of my cards today you're going to see is one, as I said earlier, that I took out of the catalog for inspiration. This one I took from my friend's Facebook page. Okay, I love the color. She used Balmy Blue. I used Cloud Cover because I just really like it, and I haven't used it very much, so it's something I like to use online. So there is our card, and now let's put some gems on it. So what I chose for today's cards, and you'll also get some of these gems in your kit, a row or two of these gems. So if you put in your order, as I said this week, for your $50 order, you get all 4 of these card kits, and then as well as some of the embellishments you can use for your card and whatever ribbon I used, plus the DSP. I cut your DSP for you. All right, let's go ahead and put some gems on this little card. I think you know what I did for this one, though? I did use the stars. I'll send you those gems because I have plenty of those on hand. But I used the stars that go with the Elegant Pines Suite. And I'll talk more about that. But these are actually supposed to be snowflakes, so they call them snowflakes. My friend Corinne used these on her card, and I like the icy blue of it. The druzy dots that we're going to use for the rest of our projects today are perfect for the colors that I used today. Oops, I don't want it on a dimensional, trying to avoid that. But aren't those pretty gems? They're very, very sparkly in person. So there's our first card. Again, that one is free to everyone. No purchase necessary to get it. It's right now loaded on my Beacons page, so you can jump in there on the video description and find it and go and get all the project supplies, the measurements, dimensions for everything, all of that stuff. All right, that was card number 1. Let's go to the one I was talking about that I got the idea from the catalog. So this one is a really fun, easy fun fold. We've done Z folds before. I do have a couple fun folds today that I actually haven't made before, so I'm kind of excited to share those with you. And this is the Elegant Pines Designer Series paper. Let me double check the name of that. Elegant Pine Snowflake. So I didn't get it quite right. Elegant Pine Snowflake Designer Series paper. And this is what I use for my club project. So I'm using it today too, except for that first card, which that was Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. This is Elegant Pine Snowflake. And these are this is the DSP for these. And that's what I use for my club class cards too. Let me give you a quick sneak peek of those, and then we'll make this card. So this, as I said, this is a subscription club, and I'm going to show you quick what we made what I made for this. And so these will come all prepped as well. I don't cut your DSP because you get a whole pack of the DSP. You're going to get a portion of this ribbon. And I think this is the ribbon I use. Yeah, that's the ribbon I use. And then also you'll get a full pack of the snowflake gems. So these are all made, these are specifically made to go together, and then I switched up my ribbon here. But here I have my projects for my club, just a very quick sneak peek of all of these. And I have one more, but I don't see it in this stack. So there's 5. There'll be 5. Oops, well, that was upside down. That doesn't help. There's the 5th one. So that, 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably had the one out. Oh, here we go. And this one. This is one of my favorite ones. So that's the 5th one. So I will, if you're interested in that, I also put a link for that in my video description so you can go look at it and see if you're interested in that, to either subscribe or to take it for just 1 month if you'd like to try it. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Just want to make sure I remember to mention it. This is early espresso. Oh, and thank you for more hearts. More people are jumping on watching. Thank you for that. I love that. And I'm so glad some of you are finding me. I hope some of my people that normally always do watch me at 12:30 come back on, because I'm sure they gave up on me. They do know I'm having technical problems. Oh my gosh, it's just making me crazy. All right, we're not going to talk about that because we're having fun stamping. We're not going to talk about stressful things. Now you can do one or two things with this card. You can cut just a strip and save your paper. Normally I do that. I think I did do it. I did do it on this card, so that is just a strip. But I think I am going to do it actually, only because I don't really want any of this white to show. So I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. Now, as I said, I have some of the kits already done, and I think what I did is I put my supplies, some of my supplies, in with the kits that I'm starting to prep. So I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. And there might be a little bit of brown between the DSP and the greeting, but that's all right. So this is going to go here, and then this is going to go here, like so. Now I had in mind today that I did want to do fun folds, but I was looking, for the main image on my picture. So, or the main, what am I trying to say? The focal point on the front of my card. Oh, there was my greeting, I think. So let's go ahead. Now I do have that left for another card, so that's probably a better use of resources anyway. On the inside of this card, we are going to stamp, get my card out here. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. There's so many lovely sayings in this stamp set. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get back to our, wait a minute, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to maybe make a change here. Yeah, I think I am. All right, long story longer. I really switched around colors on this card, and at first I had this beginning, this on front stamped with early espresso, and then I like tying in the blue more, so I switched that out. So for the inside, I'm going to switch to Pretty Peacock. So thinking of you in Pretty Peacock instead of the early espresso. Now obviously either one would work fine. They're both in the designer series paper. So either one is going to be fine. This just fits here. So I'm going to just kind of stamp it towards a little bit towards the top of center, or up from center. And that looks really pretty. I really like it when they do script with printing, which this one does. So it makes a really pretty greeting. Let me get all my greetings back together. I'm trying to stay organized here today. Let's see how far I get with that. Facebook Live, it just gets wild. I don't know why. It just does. I think because I'm trying to keep moving, not waste your time. And so I kind of set things down where maybe normally I wouldn't set them down. All right, let's go ahead and get these in the inside of our card. So again, the inspiration for this one came from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Before I really press this down, I want to make sure this is right, because we're going to see, I think it's okay. We're going to see this outline here, the border. Looks like that's pretty good, actually. Okay, so let's get this in like so. There. So there's the inside of our card. So that's what we have so far. All right, let's go ahead and more people are watching, more thumbs up and hearts. Thanks so very much. Really appreciate you guys watching and commenting. Now this piece could be 2 inches. I made it 1 7/8 inches. So I had a little bit wider border here. But if you did 2 inches, no one's going to notice that. This is a new tape runner and it doesn't always cooperate yet. Okay, so now I'm just going to inch this in here. And we have pretty peacock like little frost and snowflakes. And then we have garden green. Who knew that garden green snowflakes would be so pretty? But I thought they turned out so pretty. So that's what we have for that. Now let's stamp the main part of our card, obviously the front. So let's go ahead and grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. Now, I want to show you something in particular about this branch. So, as I said, I want to show you tips and tricks about this stamp set. So, there's this one, which is a little bit shorter, and then this one is a little bit longer. We're going to use this one. And I'm going to show you some ways to use this one with that extra little branch that I showed you at the very beginning. If you didn't see the beginning, you can scroll back. You can fast forward through the place where I had to go upstairs and get my cards. Just didn't want to start over. Too many things going on this morning. I listened just this morning to a podcast as I took a very short and quick walk about how to train your brain to not be distracted. Oh, and this is a professor who's done a lot of research, how to not let yourself try to multitask, which I don't necessarily try to multitask, I just end up multitasking. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this a little bit right of center, because I want most of my pine boughs to stay on it. This is the very largest of the dies, the label dies that are in this. And to be honest, my friends, when I first saw this set of dies, I put it on my list right away, but I didn't put the bundle on. I just thought, well, I really, really like the dies. I had so many other things on my list because we could pre-order a lot of things, and so, I went probably a little crazy. I'm going to get back out Pretty Peacock, and now for this card, we are, this branch, you need the single branch. I didn't see any way to do the trio of images that I showed you earlier, those two stamps that have kind of a trio of images. This one, I'm just going to kind of put right about here, just coming straight up from the branch. And of course, I missed it because I was thinking about something else. Because one thing I forgot to do was what I was trying to tell you to begin with, is to use this little branch. Let me show you what I did with that. I'm trying to talk about not being multitasking, but how do you do that on a live video? For this one, and this is why I told you I looked at the Stampin' Up! One, because let me show you that one in a second. So I'm going to just add this little tiny branch here. There we go. Lined that up better than I did the little tuft of pine needles. I kept looking at this, trying to line up my stamps. This is the one they added. So that's why I'm adding it there. So again, look at your Stampin' Up! Samples. They're the ones who know what's going on. They're the ones who design the stamps, obviously, and the artists. So if I just remember to check with them on if I'm stuck, I can usually get unstuck, or let's get one card made. Can go back to Pretty Peacock I have up here. It's kind of out of your screen. And I'm going to put another Pretty Peacock branch there. I'm going to use two colors, and then there's this little nub coming out there. I'm going to stamp that one there. And then I have a little one of these nubs going down. Again, for the most part, I have followed Stampin' Up's sample, and they use two colors as well. They use Garden Green and Pretty Peacock. At least that's what it looks like from the photo. So that's what I use. They put theirs on crumb cake. I'm putting mine on basic white. I just liked basic white with all the white snow. I mean, snow is white. It's not crumb cake, but, you know, artistic license. All right, now I'm going to grab Garden Green. And we're going to put one right there on that little branch that we added. And one right here on this little branch that comes out. I do think these two colors are really pretty together, Garden Green and Pretty Peacock. I'm not sure I would have put them together, but the paper puts them together. And you know the paper, the DSP is always so, so pretty. Okay, now we're going to stamp some berries. So I'm going to grab those berries and some, you know, I grabbed basic beige. I need crumb cake. Let me go over here to my stamps. Here we go. Let's use crumb cake. I think it works a little better. Let's go ahead and I'm going to grab the berries here. I know you're probably commenting, and I will check the comments. I'll check them after this card so I can at least make sure I'm not missing too many of them coming by. But say hello. Now, this set of stamps, I have twofold purposes today: to help get you unstuck with ways that I get unstuck and help use this stamp set. So these berries, I just look for the one that has the single one at the top, or at least that's the way I thought I did this. Let me check. And then you can kind of see, that these line up on those little branches right there. I'm kind of moving it around. I'm looking through the stamp and see, and that's pretty good. I did better on my sample. You can see here how it lines up pretty well. Then I came down here. Again, I just followed the Stampin' Up! Sample, so I kind of knew where to put these, and this is where they put them. I'm lining up those little nubs, kind of trying to anyway, with these these little berries. Again, I'm not doing perfectly on this because I'm trying not to make this video longer than it's going to be. And then they also put one down here. So these little branches sticking out here. So I'm going to look for those. And yes, I'm stamping over the pine branches, but I think it worked out all okay. I don't think it's going to matter too much. I think it's really pretty no matter what, so I guess I think it's okay to not have them lined up exactly, and some of you will be able to do that quickly and easily. I did it pretty easily on my first one, but of course on Facebook Live it doesn't go usually as smoothly as when I'm just hanging here in my studio just stamping away. Okay, we don't want any adhesive on this half of our fun fold card, so I'm going to turn this over like this so that I put my adhesive only on this side and I don't go past that fold right there. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And let's kind of going down this side here, just feeling where that fold is and making sure I stay on the other side of it. That is why I turned my cards, my main piece like this instead of like this. So if I turn it over here, to put those dimensionals, they'd be on the wrong side. So that's why I turn it upside down, so I make sure that I get my adhesive on the right side. All right, let's just put a few more here. Since this is the part they're going to actually grab and move to open the card, I just want to make sure this is very secure. You could use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use liquid glue instead of dimensionals. All those work. Okay, so let's get this down like so. And I'm just kind of centering it top to bottom and right to left. There we go, like that. Okay, so there's our card. We could be done with that, but we need gems, and I think we need a greeting. So I did die cut these little circles. Let's just turned off my light. These are from the Stylish Shapes dies, and this will be already die cut for you in your kit. I'm going to grab back the Pretty Peacock, since that was the whole point of having Pretty Peacock on the inside. And let me grab the greeting. This one, this little greeting says, sent with lots of love. So I'm going to grab my, put that aside a bit. Oops, there we go. I think I can do this without my piercing mat. You can stamp photopolymer without your piercing mat, but it just ensures that you're going to get a pretty good image. There we go. If I had a large stamp with a lot of flat space on it, I would definitely be pulling out my piercing mat. But this little greeting is going to work fine. Just stamped it on your workspace. Whoops, I want my dimensionals. And let's go ahead and put this down here. Sent with lots of love. I love that. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. I can think of a lot of people that send a card like this too. Alrighty, now we are going to go to our Druzy elements, or Druzy gems. These are so sparkly. I don't know if you can tell. I haven't used them yet, but when they first, I haven't used them lately, but when they first came out, these I think these are in the actually annual catalog. I think they kept these over, trying to find where there's not a dimensional, and there's not one there. They kept these, and let's go up here to carry over into the catalog itself, which is so nice. And then let's go maybe up here with all those. And there is card number 2 today. Alrighty. Right, I think I've got everything there. Yeah, I think we got it all. So, hope you learned some things on this card about how to use this branch and these little tufts of pine here and the berries with that stamp set. Now, have I explored all of the possibilities with this stamp set? No, but I did use every stamp, and we're going to use every stamp today. All right, now we're going to go to a card that I have not made before. This is a fun fold, but I also went to the Facebook page of another friend of mine, Leanne Greff. Whoops. Sometimes I use mini glue dots for taking my photos, and then I forget to take them off. But this is a little variation of a book fold card. Now, we have made book fold cards here on my channel before, but today we're going to make a new variation of this, and I think it's pretty fun. Let's go ahead. There's no die cutting on this, just stamping. You're cutting your cardstock and being ready to go to stamp. This piece is normal card size, so when you close it, it's 5.5 by 8.5. And then I scored this one at 1 3/4, 3 1/4, and then obviously 4 1/4. So again, this will all be in my PDF. That if you put in a order this week with me, that I'll send you the very detailed PDF for this. So I'm going to fold this way, and then this one is also folded this way. Now, we're going to start with making this a book fold. So I'm going to put adhesive here. And I am going to use glue for this. And we just want it on this strip because that makes it open more like a book. Hence, book fold. I know I said I was going to look at the comments, and I will. Let me go ahead and get this down. Then let me go ahead and grab some DSP. I do love this DSP. It the snowflakes are made out of pine pine boughs, whatever, however you say it. And I thought it just worked so perfectly with the branching out pines. I thought, oh, this is good. Now these little strips are just 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4, and we're going to put one here, and we're going to put one right on the edge here. So this I'm going to just do with my tape runner. 3/4 by 5 1/4. It's gonna put this. So well, if you have like tiny strips of DSP that you don't know what to do with, this is a good card for that. A good card for that. So again, I found inspiration for this card. I'm going to turn this way so it kind of faces that snowflake. Not a big deal. No one's going to notice that other than you and me. But I found this again on one of my friends, Stamping Friends Facebook page. Again, I know I said I try to, before I get to Pinterest, because I'm just not great with Pinterest, I tend to, wait a minute, let's make sure I get this right. So in your kit, you're going to have 2 pieces of white. Yeah, that's too skinny. One is for the front, and then the skinnier one is for the inside. Although they both could be, honestly, the same width. This one is 2, this one is 2 1/4. But you could do, if you just want to save time cutting, you could do 2 1/4 on both of them. I'm going to grab some scrap paper again because we're going to do some stamping on this piece that goes in the inside first. So the inside greeting is thinking of you, which is, we can always use thinking of you stamps. If I can find it, where are you? Again, it just like gets chaotic. I don't know why it does. I put all my greeting stamps together, and do you think it's there now? I just don't know how this happens. We might have to just stamp our pine boughs, and I'll do the greeting later because I don't know where it is. I know it's here. I know it's probably sitting here hidden by something. But let's go ahead and do the pines so we're not taking any extra time. So the inside of this, I'm going to go back to my early espresso for the smaller branch. This is the shorter of the 2 branches. So one is very long, and then this one is a little bit shorter. And I'm going to ink this up. And then, let's see if my stamp is sneaking under my computer here. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead with this. Then I stamped this kind of towards the bottom so I would have some room for those pines and also room to write. So that's early espresso. That's, again, as I said, the shorter of the 2 branches. Then we can go back to using our group of 3 and our group of 2 since it's the shorter branch. So I'm hoping this is helpful. It took me a while to, whoops, we want Old Olive for this. It took me a while to kind of sort through these stamps because there's a lot of them. And it does really help, though, once you figure out what goes with what, then it goes pretty fast. So remember, our fatter group of 3 goes with this spread out one at the bottom. Well, I just said that. Now I don't know if that's true. Hang on. No, that was a lie. So I think my branch went the other way before. But you can tell right away when you start to put your stamp down if it fits or not, because it'll fit just like that on those little tufts of branches. So now this one, the smaller group of 3 that are closer together, you're just going to line up those little branches there with the pine, like so. Isn't that just so pretty? I just am so glad I got the stamps. As I said, I bought the dies first, thinking, all right, I've got to put a limit on what I'm buying. then I went back. It did me no good, so I should have just bought the bundle because I ended up buying both, obviously. So I'm just trying to figure out where that thinking of you greeting could possibly be because I had it out this morning. Let's double check in my stamp set. No, it's not there. There are two pine cone stamps, just so you know. Uh-oh, something's going on. Hang on, you guys. Something's going on with my phone. Oh dear, I don't know what's going on with this. Hang on. Because my phone is connected, what is showing on my screen is that my camera only has 5% of battery remaining. Hang on, let me check this. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hang on, let's hope this comes back. Let me check this one. There's another camera. No, that's not clear either. Let me come back here. See if it'll clear up. Oh, my friends, this might be, let's try this and let's let maybe the camera reset. Just fix kind of putzing with it. My laptop is hooked into my, okay, I'm looking, things are coming up on the stream about my camera, the screen. My laptop is connected to our Wi-Fi. I mean, it's wired in, and then my phone is also connected to my laptop, so there should be no running out of battery. Let me just check my connections. If I lose my my camera, we have to see what's happening here. Let's try this again. We might have to just finish this card and the next one on a different video. And if that's the case, that'll work out fine. The first two will be on one video, and then the second two will be on a different video. But let's see if it's going to catch up with me here. I don't know why it's showing this blurry. Let me click this. Now I'm going to go back to, there's a little screen here that says iPhone camera. Checking that. If you're watching replay, you probably want to fast forward here. And camera, picking iPhone camera. And my gosh, you guys, so frustrating. You know, I would think it would be me, other than the fact that I have done it very successfully for months. I'm going to jump on the comments, and I'm going to at least see if I can see the comments for you guys on this one, on this video, because it looks like we might be stopping this one and restarting on a second video for both of them. So let's see. Carla's here. Candy came on. Hi, Liz. I'm hoping you're here. Oh, so Liz is having some technical things too. She says her settings changed from notify all live to highlights. She did not change anything. Yeah, that's what happened with this. I don't know what's going on. They did an update, and then they did a second update. I thought maybe that would fix it, but no. Liz has beautiful branches and cones. Hi, Kathy Sanford. Hi, Susan. Hi, Julie. I'm so glad you're here. I'm happy you can use, she says, I just bought this stamp set for the dies. Yes, I get that. That's what I did too, and then I bought both. Divine, hi, Divine, watching from Toronto. Welcome. Divine, you love the first card. Thank you, friend. And Liz, yes, me too. Beautiful monochromatic card. Thank you. Hi, Judy's here. Liz said she didn't think she needed this bundle. She said, thanks, Joey. Ha ha. We enable each other, right? I was just going, Pretty Peacock and Garden Green is an interesting combination. Yes, it is. Hi, Diane. I'm happy you're here as well. We're kind of spending some time seeing if my camera is going to cooperate, and it doesn't look like it is, you guys. And I'm going to just fiddle with it for a moment here. Now I just made a change. Let's see if we can get this to show up the way it's supposed to. I'm trying not to have to make a second video. It's not that I mind making a second video, but I have everything linked, everything posted everywhere to just one simple video. Let's see if this works. Digital. I'm just clicking things. So again, if you can look on YouTube and you can see if you're watching replay that the video isn't much longer, you can probably figure out that I couldn't get it fixed. I'm working. I'm checking a bunch of settings here. Show camera and switcher window. Okay, I clicked that. Camera, iPhone camera, yes. Clicking here. I might have to get a new screening program. I paid for a whole year for this. I'm probably 6 or 8 months into it, but this can't keep happening. Let me see if there's any other options for camera. Here we've got this one. I'm clicking every camera thing to just see. And I'm sorry for those of you that are watching live because it's a hot mess. I'm just really trying not to have to stop it and restart it just because I have all my links everywhere. I mean, we can definitely do it, but I'm trying not to. So sorry for all this. Get back on me. Let me bring it back to me. It lets it come to me and it's clear. That's my laptop. My camera is on my workspace, and I just think we're going to have to give up the ghost. Let me keep trying. iPhone camera. It just won't focus. So something's wrong in the settings. Good Lord in heaven. Okay, friends, I can't get it fixed, I don't think, while I'm live. I think I have to toggle out of it. I'm just going to check a few more things here and see if I can get it figured out. Video. There's a video. It's showing that my phone is very low battery. So that shouldn't even be happening because it's plugged in. It should be connecting. Hang on one second. Let me check. Let me check and make sure my video connection is plugged in. Yes. It's plugged in. Now let me see what happens. I think that must be the issue. So sorry, you guys. This is very unprofessional of me, but I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to say there's going to be a part 2, and maybe that's just as well anyway. So you only have links for this one, but I will redo all the links and the video descriptions for my second video, and I'll be back as soon as I figure out this camera thing. It could be that my phone has to recharge, but I can't imagine why, because it's plugged in. All right. Thanks so much for being here today. I love your comments. I love that you spend time with me. I hope if you're watching replay, you just fast forwarded through looking at nothing but a blurry screen. Thanks so much for being here. You're very much appreciated, and I'll see you in video 2. Let me click off here and click finish and end broadcast. See you soon. Bye-bye.